Hey y'all, hey. So I was asking a question and having a discussion with someone, and we were talking about how when you're in perimenopause and you're getting into another phase of your life, you start to realize some of the things that you just no longer care about, and that some of your friends really still care about those things. They care about those things to the utmost, and you need to find your tribe again. It's almost like a recalibration of your mirrors. The people who used to give you insight into yourself and let you know that you're seen, now it feels like they don't see you. It feels like you are lonely, like they just can't relate anymore, and you are having a hard time feeling understood. So the question became, how do you know you're in the right room? How do you find friends at this big old age? You know, in your 50s, in your 60s, even in your 70s. How do you realize who is your friend? And one of the things that came up was that you don't have to translate yourself. You do not have to explain everything that you're thinking. You don't have to explain everything that you are feeling. You're in the room with somebody who can actually mirror you, who understands before you even open your mouth as to why you would feel or think that way. Not that you still don't have the freedom to express yourself, but you don't find yourself constantly coming up with, reasons and justifications and feeling like you have to explain to make yourself validated or to make your presence, acknowledged or seen. Another thing that you don't have to do is hide your questions. So when things are happening and in your mind, you're like, but aren't we going to do that? And does this truly align with what the goal is? You don't find yourself trying to hide your questions. You know that if you have something to say, that not only will your question be welcomed, but it'll be answered. It'll be answered, and you'll have that time to bounce back and forth to be able to figure out what it is that you really want to know. Because sometimes our questions truly lead us to other questions, the real ones. Like some of our questions are meant to open a door, and then the next question is meant for us to walk through it. But then the next question is meant for us to actually look around the room and notice what's different. And so people who are open for questions, those are the people that maybe you want to be around, Or maybe I'm talking to myself. Maybe these are the people that I want to be around. People who don't have prefab answers. You've fabricated these answers. You've copied these answers. These are the acceptable list of answers for any given question. And so now when we're having this discussion, you open up your can of questions that sat on the shelf and that don't expire until 2052, and you pulled out an answer to give to me. That's not for me. And so as we as women calibrate our lives and recalibrate our friendships, we recognize that, it's okay to let some people just stay in the room that they're in, and it's okay for you to find another room to belong in. Because truly, even if you don't care about a lot of things, the human experience is one of belonging. And so while you are trying to find your group, these are some of the outlines. Oh, another thing, if you have to soften what you say, if you're constantly thinking, I'm not talking about occasionally, you have a smart mouth and you have to soften it. But like if you're constantly trying to find a way to say something because you don't want to offend, that's something that means that your core is not in agreement, and you're constantly trying to find a way to make it work with two. Basically, how can two walk together except they agree type of a situation, So that's another one. And I just want you to think about that. Like, how do you know when you're going to find new people? You don't have to hold on to anybody, and you don't have to rush to find new people. All you have to do is continue to acknowledge other people and the things that you see in them, especially for myself. I'll speak for myself. I want to acknowledge the beauty that I see in people. And that does not mean that they're going to be my friend. It just means that I can see them. It doesn't mean that I'm going to be allowed to see all of them, but it does mean that I'm open to seeing them. And then those who respond back with reciprocity and who can also see me in ways that I didn't even realize that I could be seen. You know, when you think you're invisible and somebody comes and say, "Hey, you're not invisible, I see you." That might be a person that's in your tribe. So anyway, just a couple of thoughts. Have a wonderful, wonderful rest of your Saturday.